Hello everybody, Infernape Shinjo here, and welcome back to the channel. And it is the first video that I've recorded in 2022. I'm not going to go into whole detail of things, but either through work or something or other, my back's been kind of hurting. I've been a little bit all over the place, and I haven't really had much time to record, but I finally found some time to record some stuff today, and yeah. I got some questions from you guys, so let's get into it. So the first group of questions comes from Metal Hopper, and I hope that this isn't outdated by the time that I post this video. First question, which starter will you choose for Legend Arceus, and which Hisuian form will you be using? So, from the starters for the game, it's, if I'm not mistaken, Cyndaquil, Oshawott, Rowlet. I would say, just offhand from those three, Cyndaquil is definitely my favorite. But at the same time, that goes into the Hisuian form that I was planning on using, which I can't remember all of them off the top of my head, but I really like the Growlithe. So having two fire types on my team in air quotes, because I'm not even sure how things are going to be in the game. I'm not sure about that. And at the same time, I don't know. I like the idea of using Cyndaquil, but I can also see some benefit to using mons that I never use. So like a Rowlet or an Oshawott, because I very seldom use those. Although at the same time, at this point in time when I'm recording this, I haven't even pre-ordered the game. I talked about it briefly in my Once to Battle tag from last year. I'm not really excited, the best way to put it, for Legend Arceus. I know a lot of people are really excited for the game because it's something different, but me, I'm just kind of indifferent to it. I like how it looks and everything, but I don't know. I really have no major incentive to play it at the moment. I might change my mind when it comes closer to the time of release, but at the moment, I'm not really vibing with it. And the next question, what would you think if my hero crossed over with One Punch Man? I think it'd be pretty interesting. So, I briefly talked about this because I had to chop this part out from when I recorded my last meme video, because I initially had the meme video and this question all in the one video, but I figure it'll make more sense to focus on questions in this one and then do the memes in the other video. So I'm gonna feel like a broken record when I'm doing this because I already discussed this part. I think I feel the same way that I did before. It'll be definitely interesting because One Punch Man is definitely more comedy driven, where My Hero has some. It's more based off of the hierarchy of the League of Villains or whatever it's called now, I can't remember. And it's all more serious undertones. They definitely still have comedy in it, but it's more serious than One Punch Man. So it would either mean that One Punch Man would get more serious, or My Hero will be more comical, one way or the other. I don't know. I would definitely like to see it because I'd like to see the characters interact, but I don't know. It's definitely something to consider. If it ever happens, of course. And the next group of questions comes from Solus Darkrai, and apparently these are only 19 hours old. I thought they were at least a lot older than that, but whatever. The first question, what's your favorite metal or rock band, whether it's over here in the West or Japanese? So I know a lot of people talk about, like, say, baby metal, for example, and other stuff from Japan or otherwise. I can't think of many off the top of my hand. I can only go off of anime openings because that's what I listen to a lot more. I think one, just to give an example from Japan, I really like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. The ending that they did for Hunter x Hunter is really good, and it definitely gives me vibes of music that I listened to back in the day. Other ones that I'm more familiar with over here in the West, I really like Skillet, and one that I listened to a lot in high school was Five Finger Death Punch, and I can't think of any of their songs off the top of my head that I really like, so I might just throw some examples on if I can think of some that I really like. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to play them because of copyright, but just a couple of examples. And the next question, what do you think of the two Dawn returning arcs in Journeys? First one was a meh, but I loved her return in the special. I'm not sure if you just mean the first arc that she was in was meh, but you like the other one. But let me go over them really quickly. So the first one was they went over to Sinnoh with Darkrai and Cresselia and all that. And then the second one was the Dialga Palkia thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say because there's no way to know whether it's going to actually have a big impact on the plot, because it's obvious that Dawn and Koharu do have some chemistry forming. Whether they incorporate and focus on that later on down the line or not, that's up for debate. And at the same time, even though I know the Sinnoh remix came out and all that stuff, but I just can't help feeling that Dawn's getting a little bit too much screen time when you have characters like Misty, who hasn't been appearing at all in Journeys. Granted, she was in Alola, but still. And Iris only got one episode, and they just kind of glossed over her rise to champion. Granted, I really like Dawn's character in Diamond and Pearl. I just wish that other older characters like May or Max would reappear. Granted, May is less likely because from what I'm hearing, her Japanese VA isn't doing May's voice anymore, or any voices for that matter, so it will be harder to do that, especially since I highly doubt they want to replace her voice. But who knows? If they really want to bring back everybody, they'd have to do something, but I don't know. Overall, they were both good in my opinion. I would say I like the second one more, because the first one was just the whole stereotype of Dawn meets up with Koharu. They both hang out for a bit. Ash comes in. Whoa, you know Ash, you know Dawn? What a coincidence. At least in the second one, they've already established that everybody knows each other, and even Cynthia was there as well with the Akomo for some reason. But yeah, the Dawn specials are good, and I realize now when I'm recording this that there's a third one with Legends Arceus coming out, so yeah. Dawn's getting a little bit too much screen time. At least bring back Brock and reference his travels in Sinnoh as well. That's just my opinion. I really like the specials, I just wish they would focus more on other companions as well. That is going to be Q&A episode 18, I believe it is. It's either 17 or 18, I can't remember. But yeah, if you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section. And the last time I recorded this was probably a couple of months ago now, so these are definitely not going to be consistent, especially if questions aren't as frequent. But whenever a couple of questions pop up, I'll be more than happy to record another video. So if you enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Momentai.